Today I'm going to show you how I make a Kentucky butter cake. We're getting ready for the Kentucky Derby here with my family. We celebrate every year. We have a big party, we have a hat decorating contest, we choose horses and root for our team and all that fun stuff. So it's a big day for us. Gonna make a Kentucky butter cake here. So to start with, I'm going to sift my dry ingredients. So, oh, and I do have my oven on. It's preheated to 325. I'm going to be using this lovely bundt pan for this cake. And so I'm going to start by adding 3 cups of flour. Whoop, sorry. I need 2 cups of granulated sugar, okay, give these a good sift. Then I need to add 1½ teaspoons of salt. There's the 1½ Okay. Alright, then I need a teaspoon of baking powder and a ½ teaspoon of baking soda. Alright, get these all sifted together. Alright, so that's my dry ingredients. I'm going to put them off to the side and start on my wet ingredients. Okay, so we're going to get started with our wet ingredients. I have 2 sticks of softened butter. It's supposed to be 2 sticks. I didn't have enough, so I have a little bit of cream cheese there. We'll get these into my stand mixer. I want to get them nice and soft. So now that that's light and fluffy, I'm going to add my eggs. And this is 5 whole eggs. Alright. I'll let those mix together while I wash my hands. Now I'm going to start adding my dry ingredients. I'm going to add about half of them. I'm going to add in my buttermilk. You can see it foamed up. I'm going to add my vanilla. That looks great to me. Now, next stage is to get this into my bundt pan. So I'm gonna spray my pan. And then dump this in your pan. We'll get this in the oven at 325 for about an hour. Now I'm going to make the glaze that goes on top of the Kentucky butter cake. So I have a 1/4 cup of butter melted here in my pan. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of water plus 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. And we'll get that all mixed together. And you're just looking to make sure all the sugar's dissolved. And you don't want to make this super ahead of time because it will get thicker. You want to make it right as your cake is coming to an end in the baking process. So my cake has about 2 more minutes. So I'm going to finish stirring this and then get my cake out, and I'll show you what to do next. Okay, so here's my cake right out of the oven. And you want to check and make sure it's nice and done. This is actually a shish kebab skewer, but you want to make sure that nothing sticks to it. And then I'm going to go through and poke some extra holes because I'm going to put glaze right on top of this hot cake. Alright, so now let's see if we can get the glaze on here. See if I can do this. I'm having to use a different camera, so it makes things a little interesting. See if you can see what I'm doing. You can see that glaze is nice and thick. And I'm going to save a tiny bit for the top. Right, so now you're going to let this cake sit for about 10 minutes and let it absorb that glaze. And then you'll flip it out onto a cooling rack. And then once it's a little more cool, we'll put the topping on. Okay, so here she is out of the oven and glazed. I only used half the amount of glaze for this cake because I plan on serving it with strawberries and whipped cream, and so I didn't want it to be super sweet. But you would double the glaze so it would go all over the cake better than mine did. Mine was more of just a little drizzle.